And I guess a part of me really rebels against the idea that we should be hiding death and these important bits of life away. People talk about children as if they're not capable of understanding or processing. But I know what it was like for me to go talk to, when one of the boys was in primary two, you have your parents come in and talk about their jobs day. So in I go with my stethoscope. I let them listen to each other swallowing, because that's the other thing I did. I was the person who had to go decide if you got to have food in a blender or food on a plate. The swallowing wifey is what they called me. So I would have messages, can the swallowing wifey please come and see Mr. So-and-so in ward so-and-so. But I went in to talk to P2 about this, and they listened. And then one of the others of them said, do you ever see any dead people? And I said, not many. And my son Tristan said, what she sees are the nearly dead people, the mostly dead people. And I said, that's true. And then they said, well, can they still talk? And I said, yes. Can they still be sad? And I said, yes. Can they still eat ice cream? I said, yes. I said, my job is to make sure they get ice cream for as much as they want for as long as they can eat it. I said, that's the other bit. That's why I have my stethoscope and I listen. And they're like, what does it say? Okay, and then it's on to, did you ever see any ghosts? No, not that I'm aware of. Did you ever go into anywhere that felt really creepy and like there might be a ghost? Yes, lots of times. And then it's like, okay, and they thought about this for a minute, and they were like, I think if I were nearly dead, I would really like to have a visitor. And I said, yeah, I'm sure I would as well. So they thought that sounded like an okay job, and they wanted to know what it was called. And I said, I'm a speech and language therapist. And then they said, but you're not. Speech and language therapist, you're alphabet ladies. One of the kids in the class had to go see, and he would come back talking about the sounds that he was learning how to make. And then I had to say, well, yeah, some speech and language therapists do that. Other speech and language therapists do more what I do. And then we finished off my 45 minutes with P2 by having me drink lots of water and then burp so they could listen to me while I was burping. So with kids, it just kind of, it's normal. It's not, there's no stigma attached to talking about it. They're all morbid little buggers. They just are. And it's normal. It's normal to talk about creepy stuff and to scare yourself. It's how you come to terms with the fact that someday you're going to be nearly dead, and then the day after that you're going to be dead. And we don't know what happens. But finding adults who are as open to talking about that's not always so easy.
Yeah.